Hi guys, this is Power and Light Tarot coming at you with the reading, and today we're going to talk about the destiny forecasts and basically show you guys how really cool they are. Yeah, they really are awesome. So these are based on the work of the Magi, right? Which is, really magician, right? And so we're going to do a mini reading today because today this is based on anybody who was born today, November 16th. So we know that that person is a Scorpio. And I have here the soul card or the birth card, and I have the planetary ruling cards. Now, these don't change, but if you were to get a reading, if you wanted a destiny forecast, you would have to provide me your age because for anybody born on November 16th, their reading or their forecast will change. The birth card will not change, but the right? Their age is going to make a difference. In other words, somebody who's born November 16th and they are 19 will have a different forecast for their year. These are about yearly forecasts, and they start on your birthday. They do. So, yeah, so anybody who is a different age will have a different forecast. So, in this one, we'll talk about just being born on November 16th. So this will be a mini read. It will be. So here we have the Four of Clubs. And the clubs here within this deck here are the swords. So this is the Four of Swords, and this is why I have laid down the Four of Swords. Now, we know the swords are about clarity, or they are about communication. They're about your thoughts, your intellect, the mind. That's really what they're about. And he's trying to gain clarity on something. He's praying. So, or he's praying something will, take place. But basically, these cards are they are the same, really. And this Four of Clubs and these two eights here, which are the planetary ruling cards for the person born on November 16th, these are great cards. This is like a lucky birthday. It is. Because this Four of Clubs here talks about mental clarity. And it talks about organization, and the clarity of the mind assures success. But so does the eight. Really interesting. Very, very similar energy. So the basic meaning with this card talks about mental satisfaction and stability right here, the Four of Clubs. Because remember, the fours are about stability. Yeah, they are. They're about foundations, right? And so this can talk about anything that this person sets their mind to. They can create a stable life. They can create a stable career. Yes, they can. And this talks about clear thinking, organizational ability, but it also kind of, in order to achieve, a successful foundation. This card can warn, though, not to kind of fixate on anything like opinions, or keep your mind open sometimes, right? Things change, science changes, and just things like that, right? So here we have a great card, and anybody born this day has very lucky cards. They just do. And I was looking at that and I was going, wow, this person born November the 16th, this person has a sharp mind. And, if they have a sharp mind, they have a clear mind, and whatever they set their mind to, they can achieve. Yeah. And so the Eight of Clubs talks about focus of the mind and plans bring more success. This is another card of mental power, the ability to focus your mind on a goal or objective and see it through to a successful conclusion. Yeah, out of focus and concentration, success is assured. It's very similar to the Four of Clubs, right? This talks about overcoming all your problems by focusing your thoughts. And interesting here, because he's praying, and we could consider this meditation, and this is how we manifest. We meditate, right? It's not the only way, but it's like a large part of manifestation is meditating and using visualizations and affirmations during that, right? Especially, yeah, it is. You can say your your affirmations rather, to yourself. You can, but this is, a lot of people meditate in the beginning to calm themselves, ground themselves, and then they start to, create their mental movie of what they would like in their life. We have the Eight of Spades now, and now we have another eight here. Eights talk about eternity, which is really interesting. And the success and accomplishment in work and art, right? Yeah, this is kind of like the Eight of Wands, sort of, which is a great card because it talks about innovation and change, and it does. It can talk about growth. And this is the most powerful card of physical and willpower. Yeah, the Eight of Wands can talk about willpower. It can, because of the Wands can talk about movement and courage. Yeah. When this card is present, you will find yourself experiencing more power over your health and work matters. Success is indicated by this card with the ability to overcome any obstacle that may appear in your way. The power comes from a focusing of our will and narrowing it down to the areas of our interest. Yeah, this is a real trip here because these cards are all, they're all very similar here. And they're all talking about achievement and success with mental clarity and focus. Yes. Right. Okay. Sometimes this card can talk about keep your focus on the one thing that you really want the most, right? And okay. So now what we would do, we would talk about the yearly, the long-term card and the other cards that affect your yearly forecast. So your long-term card for anybody born any day, but for November 16th, I wouldn't know what the yearly, what the long-term card would be unless I had their age. So say, for example, it is the Four of Hearts, then it would be a year of, it could be, you could be getting married during that year. The Six of Diamonds, it could be a year of making a lot of money. It could be, right? And so on. Okay, the next thing we have in a destiny card forecast would be the Pluto and the results card. Okay, so Pluto we know as Scorpio energy, the planet of death and transformation, rebirth. And this talks about you could be whoever, we don't have the card here for this person, no, because we don't know their age, but this talks about any mini death or transformation in your life. And the result card is a blessing from that change. So we can see how interesting these forecasts can be, right? Yeah, we can. And now we have your environment and your displacement cards. So your environment is a blessing that is given to you all year long, whereas the result card with the Pluto is given to you after some form of change that you have made. Yeah. And or a change that sometimes will just come to you and happen, kind of kick you in the butt, right? The environment card is a blessing given to you all year. It is much like the result card, but it keeps on giving. The displacement card comes with the environment card, and this is something you have to give to. But sometimes it is kind of a blessing in disguise, the displacement card. It can be a major turning point in our life, depending on what cards we have, and depending on what has shown up in your environment card. The next thing we would do in this particular in a destiny reading, we would be talking about the auspicious years, right? The difficult years, the money years, marriage years, things like that, rebirth years, and many, many other years. And let's have a look at for the Four of Clubs, right? Because that is the card here. So let's look at the Four of Clubs. Okay, just give me a minute here because I don't have them all rehearsed. No, I don't, for November 16th birthday. Okay, the auspicious years, a rebirth for somebody born November 16th would be 45 and 90. Yeah, and so the critical year would be 52. It's a very important year in anybody's life. But the good money cards I'll just read one here, is more than one, but I mean, I'll read the wish fulfillment years and the good money card years. Yeah. And so this would be 25, 27, 28, 29, 32, 35, 37. Those are a lot of good money years, I'd say, right? 46, 53, 54, 66, 70, 72, and I'll stop there. There are some more years. There are. And in terms of wish fulfillment, we have 36, 37, 45, 57. Yeah. And there are some more. There are many more years that are pointed out, right, within that. And so let's talk about what else that we talk about in these destiny readings, based on the cards that you get, which is based on your birthday and your age, right? Remember, this was a mini one for somebody born on November 16th, although I'm not able to do a full reading because I don't know that person's age, right? So let's talk about the Mercury period. In your destiny or your destiny forecast, there are 7 periods. There are. So these 7 periods are 52 days long, and we see the numerology when we see the 5 plus the 2 within the 52 is 7, and there's 7 periods in a year. And the first period starts on your birthday, and this is Mercury. And Mercury is could be a time of quick and transitory influences, possibly things that happen maybe fast, but they could be kind of just quick and kind of in and out sort. It could be like that. This has a lot to do with communications, new ideas, intellectual pursuits. You could be spending more time with siblings. Yeah, and you could have really a lot of new ideas during the Mercury period. Venus would be your next period for the person born November 16th, right? Which would be 52 days later. And Venus is about home and family and love, and it can be about sex. The arts, social occasions, women in your life, performing, and the public. And Venus can often tell us the likely success or challenges we may occur, right? That, especially within love, within family, right? Within the arts, and anything that is related to beauty as well. The next period we would have is Mars. Mars discusses legal matters, your passions, or your relationships with men in some way. In this period, it can talk about successes or challenges in legal affairs. Yeah, it's kind of cool to get these because these forecasts, they give you a heads up on possible difficulties, not to scare you, just to make you aware. And more powerful. Awareness brings, it does bring power. The Mars period can talk about whatever you are seeking very aggressively, right? Whatever you are going after, because Mars is a very aggressive, a very assertive. Yeah. Remember, Mars is based on your ascendant, right? The original ascendant, basically, even if that is not your rising or your ascendant sign, it's based on your ego or how you assert yourself in the world. Yeah. And so that's what makes it an assertive sign, passionate, a fire sign, right? So that can be a time of asserting yourself or really kind of chasing your dreams, if you will. Always, and now we have Jupiter, and the Jupiter talks about your money and also your spiritual aspects. And this can be, the Jupiter period brings out the most in every card. So even if you don't have a great card in your Jupiter period, it will still bring out the most successful part of that card. Yeah, it's kind of a good luck time, your Jupiter period, right? And, for the November 16th person, it starts later in their year. It does, right? The next 52-day period would be Saturn. And we know about Saturn, right? This can be a challenging time. That's why it's good to know what cards come up and, what can be seen in that period. So once again, you have more power and awareness to kind of just to deal with things a little bit better, right? It can talk about fairness and justice and, sometimes health issues and hard work. And Saturn, right? We learn a lot of lessons during the Saturn period because of challenges. Some people may not have a difficult Saturn period, though, depending on their cards. No, they may not. We have Uranus. This is bringing changes, intuition, spirituality, and innovation. Anything unexpected can happen in Uranus. And Uranus period starts about 3.5 months, something like that, before your next birthday. It is a change. It does bring change. It can also talk about real estate and labor relations. Yeah, surprise endings are usually positive. Yeah, unexpected endings are usually kind of turn out positive with Uranus. Yeah, and Neptune is the last period before your new birthday. And it can talk about secret desires being revealed at that time. Really interesting. It can talk about some people are going, have hidden matters. They can maybe fantasizing. Be careful not to fantasize too much during that period. It's going to depend on your cards, right? Yeah. It is also called the hopes and fears period. And Neptune can also relate to work or health. So we're going to end this, you guys. I just wanted to show you kind of how cool these forecasts are. Yeah, they are. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me here. And tomorrow, most likely, we'll be having the November 17th. Yeah, thank you so much.